wasn't true. I don't want to keep secrets just to keep. This has been recording the whole time? Where is my coffee? And I'm crying like a baby coming home from the bar. I don't care if you're not a Taylor Swift fan. That song slaps. That song sounds like you're yelling it into the void. Like you're at your wit's end. You're like, I don't want to keep secrets. Let me adjust y'all. Crack you back like the chiropractor. Do you guys like this shirt? I use this shirt for filming brand deals sometimes because it's like it was a plain shirt, and then I got like a bleach stain on it, so I just bleach dyed the thing. Took me literally less than 2 minutes. Alloy update? I need to like change his outfit. Sunglasses changed, little I will survive sign. I will survive. Hey, I will survive. We're doing a Q&A today. I try and do a Q&A, a question and answer, every 6 months on the channel. I actually put it like in my calendar every 6 months. Bing, bing, boop, boop, do a Q&A. Also, I'm going to link all the other Q&As that I've done. I think this is like the 4th one I've done. So there's at least a couple other ones. If I don't answer a question here, maybe I've answered it before. Here's a good one to start on. If you could be any type of light fixture, what type would you be? That sounds like a question off a dating show. Like when you have the woman and like three men behind the curtain. If you were a light fixture, what would you do to turn me on? Oh, hey, this is going on TV. I wouldn't be one of those nipple bulbs. The nipple domes, the nipple lights. I don't like those. Oh, I would just be a singular light bulb with no case on it. Just kind of like sometimes you go into like an old-timey bar, like a rustic bar, they just got like a light bulb on a string. I feel like that's it. Because you see it for its beauty, you get to see the inner workings of the light bulb, and you go, that's crazy, that's an amazing accomplishment in itself. And then you're like, oh, does it need a cone? Does it need to be coned off? And do we need to project the light a certain way, or do we just let it shine? Maybe I'm not that light bulb. Maybe I am a nipple light. I'm more of a light fixture. I'm more of those like lights you put on the walkway, walking up to past your house when it's dark out, and sometimes they don't work, so you kind of kick them. You're like, hey, how come the lights aren't working? The batteries are always dying out in these lights. That's my social battery. It's always dying out. The lights aren't really on a lot up here. I really like that question. Would you rather have tentacles for feet or fins for hands? I need my thumbs, and I like wearing rings. So I'm going to say tentacles for legs, because also, if you're saying tentacles like an octopus, I probably have like 8 of them. So I got rid of 2 stumbly feet that I got to shave and got 8 tentacles. That's fine. And they're all sticky, so I'll never lose my balance again. And I could wear a crap ton of ankle bracelets. Hardcore or paperback or audiobooks or ebook. This is a lot. I have yet to listen to a book on tape. As many podcasts as I listen to, I think I wouldn't be able to follow along with an audiobook. I want to try it. Ebook? Never. I love physical paper. I love paper. I like flipping the pages and holding it open and creasing the book. If it's a textbook, love a hardcover textbook, because you get really rough for those. I remember in college, you just throw them around. Love a good paperback, though. I do love a good paperback. I don't like when you read the book and you like curl the spine back. I don't like that. Oh, no, I kind of like a hardcover. Depends on where I'm reading it. If I'm like trying to read it in bed, I like a hardcover because it kind of opens itself. As far as like packing, I love to pack a paperback because it can kind of just molds with the clothes on the bag. When was the last time you got to tell someone I told you so? I don't like confrontation, so I don't really say I told you so to anybody. If I'm retelling a story to someone else, I go, and I'm not surprised. And I'm just not surprised. What's the first thing you do when you wake up and the last thing when you go to bed? When I wake up, I usually chug some water because I'm dehydrated. And then I put my hair in a bun. Don't brush it. I guess I'm not a hairbrusher. I never brush my hair. And then when I go to bed, chug a bunch of water, put on a podcast, close my eyes. Someone asked, one song dance you want played at your wedding. Assuming you want one, have one. What a song that has to be played at my wedding. I like the Pucka Bell Cannon as a walk-down song. Probably saying that wrong. That's a good wedding song. I've been seeing more and more people take like any song they like and turning it into their walk down the aisle song. I think that's great. They're doing like the Monster Mash to the walk down song, or like Last Resort by Papa Roach into their walk down song. I love those. A song that would have to be played at my wedding. To the window, to the walls, to the walls, to the swamp. This Kiss by Faith Hill. This kiss, impeccable. Yeah, that's a good song. It's the way you love me, darling. Yeah. If you had to work at an amusement park or a famous landmark, For the rest of your life, which place would you choose? If I was gonna say amusement park, I might say Six Flags because my friend works at Six Flags. Oh, maybe a famous landmark. That sounds way more fun. What famous landmark? Ugh. I would work at like the world's largest something. The biggest donut. The biggest cup of coffee. This is the biggest knitting needle we'll ever have. I just want to work there. Give a little tours. Walk around it. Or I would do like the tours at like the Warner Brother loft and stuff like that. Or do like a safari. Safari with the truck driver things. This is the world's largest lint roller. Please do not touch it. We cannot get you unstuck. It remains sticky 365 days a year. We could collect all the lint in the world. Also, please do the air horn sound in the next video. It's my fave. Oh, I'll see what I could do. What would you do if there was a zombie apocalypse? Run for your life? Hide? Kill them all? I'm not gonna run. Unless I could run via a car. Via, like, could I just start mowing down the zombies? Would I hide? Run for your life, hide, kill them all. Listen, I would hide. I would hide from the zombies. And then I would kill one. I would find the weakling of the group. I would kill them. And I would just see how I feel about it. Are we all killing the zombies now? Like, is it not a big deal to kill the zombies? Like, are we good? Do we have the green light to kill the zombies? If everyone's doing it, I might be a follower and hop on the killing the zombie bandwagon. Otherwise, I'm a hider. I'm kind of big to hide, but I'll find my spaces. I'll hide in a Dunkin'. I don't give a shit. On an abandoned Dunkin'. Me just in the back making cold brews. I'm gonna hide. What do you like or put on your hamburgers? I was sat and thought about this for 5 minutes. If I'm having a hamburger at home or like at a barbecue with not many options, I'll just take the meat on a bun. I would love a piece of cheese on there. Please put some cheese on there, some cheddar, some American, whatever. If I'm at like a drive-through fast food place, I'll just take whatever comes on the burger. Lettuce, tomato, onions, pickle, mustard. I don't even like mustard. I'll eat it on there. I don't care. So if I'm at home, I'll just put like meat, cheese, little sriracha mayo on my burger, and I'll call it a day. The only thing I will say is I like my hamburgers cooked well done. I'm one of those people. I like a well done burger, but that's about it. When it comes to hamburgers, I just go with the flow. Toppings, no toppings, pretzel bun, it doesn't matter. It's like the only food I can really think of that I'll just like mend and bend to whatever is on the menu. The best burger I've ever had though was a cheese curd burger. It had cheese curds on it. It was so good, and it had this like orange Bam Bam little kicky sauce on there. And that was at one restaurant that I worked at. Another restaurant that I worked at had a hamburger within a club sandwich. Big ass, it was so good. What activity instantly calms you? What activity instantly calms you? What activity instantly calms you? Probably just watching a really good TV show that I'm like invested in, where I'm like 4 episodes in, I got 7 episodes left, and I'm like, I think I could crank it out. Think I could sit here another 7 hours and get it done. Driving in my car, being swimming in a lake, swimming in the middle of a lake when you're like 20 feet from the boat, and you're just floating on a nice summer day. That calms the shit out of me. I am so close to being a fish. Like, I love water. I love floating. I love swimming. I love kicking around. I like holding my breath. I love the little water droplets on your head. I love it all. It's just great. It boggles my mind that some people, don't like water. Not that they can't swim, but like they don't like swimming and floating, and they don't like open water. That boggles my mind. But that makes me appreciate it even more. Who do you aspire to be like? Oh my God. I don't know. Maybe not a specific person, because I like to take bits and pieces of things I like about people, like their work ethic or their niceness or their volunteer work. I kind of like to just meld it into like my dream, hero. Who do you inspire to be like? I inspire to be like anybody who is just content with life, who obviously works hard and works towards something, but is just overall like content. They figured out a way to like, make a living, live a life, have what they want, and someone who's like humble about it. Anyone who's like grounded in reality. I aspire to be like them, and I try to stay grounded. Riley's barking about something. What is your favorite fragrance, and do you realize what an amazing person you are? That was a double-sided. How do you like to smell? Also, you're cool. If you would have asked me this question 2 years ago, I was using dog perfume as perfume. It was like the spray you put on dogs after you bathe them. I was like, that smells good, and I got a bottle for myself, and I would spray it. Smells good. It was cheap, like the cheapest perfume you could buy. One time I got this spray, this perfume, I don't know where it was from, and it had white tea and sage in it. So then I Googled perfumes, white tea and sage, and I found this Etsy shop, and they make like a white tea and sage. It gets like milky and weird at the bottom, and I don't use it too often. But it smells good. It's a very calming smell. And then other than that, I use the Coach, I don't know what this is, Coach Daisy. Just smells like flowery. I have no idea. I was using like men's cologne for a long time, like that bod spray you could get from Walmart. I was using that for a long time. I like good smelling perfume. I hate paying a lot of money for perfume. I don't see the value, the point. You don't even see the perfume. You literally gotta smell me and be like, what was that, 80 bucks? What's that little spray on your neck? That cost you $80? I love when people ask just how are you doing. They take the Q&A opportunity to be like, how are you? I'm good. I literally just had quite a 5-minute rant with my mom that I'm kind of burnt out of, not creatively, I'm kind of burnt out of talking to myself, being on camera and looking at my own face and then editing the videos. Like, I'm just like really feeling tired of looking at my own face and hearing my own voice. It's my job though, and I know it's not a hard job by any means, but it's kind of draining. Like, can you imagine just like basically sitting in front of a mirror for 6 hours a day and then being like, well, guess I'll do that tomorrow. I'm just a little tapped out. I've been gone a couple weekends in a row, so I've been trying to make YouTube videos ahead of time, which means like I am just spending back-to-back days filming a video, editing a video, filming a video, editing a video. It's like being on like the worst date ever, and you're like, when will this end? When will you shut up and go back to your house so I could just spend some time by myself? It feels like I'm hanging out with like two of me. But it's not a bad thing. It's my job. I love this job, and everyone gets a little burnt out sometimes. But creatively, no, I got so many videos and ideas that I need to do. I'm just like tired of seeing my own face. I'm tired of looking at it. What's your favorite board game? My favorite board game. It's not that I don't like board games, but I like card games. You know, I like those a lot better. I like, my grandma taught us how to play, or is that a domino game? Called Hand and Foot? No, I think it's a card game. Hand and Foot, King's Corner. I like card games a lot more. I'd love to know more about your day job. I work at a dog daycare. Do you train them or just babysit? Technically, I think the title is called a dog handler. We don't train the dogs. They have classes for that. The dogs are trained on their own. Obviously, all dogs are not going to be trained the same because the owners do what they want. Mostly just babysitting and teaching dogs how to be social and what's appropriate behavior around other dogs. What's your favorite brand of chapstick? Ow! My shoes. I use Blistex, Vaseline. Get you a tub of Vaseline. Burt's Bees, not my favorite. I feel like it falls off your lips fast, but I have a couple tubes I'm finishing up. Blistex, the green Blistex, and then Vaseline. Oh, I put on Vaseline before bed. That's another thing I do before, last thing you do before you go to sleep. Vaseline. What household object do you think you would have turned into if you were in Beauty and the Beast? Probably a whisk. A whisk. So I have the ability to roll around, but whisks have that flat bottom. I could also stand up. And I like to whisk shit up, You don't always need a whisk in every recipe, but you could definitely use it as a utensil in any recipe. What's your favorite question to ask people and your favorite question to be asked? The temperature in this room right now is so perfect. It's like just cold enough. I can hear the vent turning off. I just had to say, for the room temp in here is perfect. My favorite thing to be asked. My favorite thing to be... I don't know. Do I not like to be asked questions? I'm literally doing a Q&A and I don't like to be asked questions. Like in public. Like if I just met you, we're out in public, we just met for the first time. Or like we're friends. We're like surface level friends. Hung out a couple times. I know you. You don't know like my parents' name or anything. I like to be asked what podcasts I'm listening to, but no one that I know really listens to podcasts. So it's like such a moot point. And I feel like if someone was like, I want to get into podcasts, what do you listen to? I would be like, well, I listen to these podcasts, but I don't think you're going to like them because I don't think the answer holds any weight to you. The podcasts mean a lot to me. If the camera's not on, there's a podcast on all the damn time. In the car, on the way to work, when I'm at work sometimes, going to bed, taking a shower, the podcasts are always on. Maybe that's something about I don't like silence and I don't like yada yada yada. I just like, it's like a source of laughter. It makes me think. Half the time I'm not listening to the podcast. What question I like to ask people? I love to ask people questions like, what is your job? And then when they trying to brush it off, they're like, oh, I'm just a nurse. I like to be like, no, what kind of nurse are you? Hospital? An outpatient thing? What do you do? Anything crazy? How do you like that? How many years you can just go? I love just digging in a little deeper. Just tell me more. No, especially if they shrug off the job. Like they're like kind of like, oh, I'm just a data analyst. I'm like, no, what does your day-to-day look like? Are you going into the office? You got to deal with people? You got some coworker fights going on? What's the break room like? You hate it? You got a little cubicle? Is it decorated? I like to gather information about jobs that I will never have. Look, there's a chunk of my old nail color in my car, in this little pocket right here. As I was getting these nails done, I broke a nail getting into the car of that neon green color. It's just sitting in here. That's disgusting. How do you be and look so happy? One, social media is fake. When you are in front of a camera, in front of an audience, or you know this will be seen by people, I think people always put on a happy face. I don't mean to, but it is like in my It is like in my being to entertain people, make them laugh, make them smile, be able to hold a conversation, even if it's with myself, but I feel like I'm talking to you guys. I'm not happy 100% of the time. I'm not totally content with my life. You know, I work on my mental health and I've got problems and issues and everything that I try and not bring to my public life because I'm here to entertain and I'm here to... We both come to the video for the same reason. You come to watch it to maybe escape you having a bad day, and I come to the video to entertain you out of a bad day because that's what makes me happy. A big philosophy of my life, which I've definitely said before, is that I believe that everyone should, you should find at least one thing every day that makes you laugh. I love laughing. If it's considered a hobby, it is my favorite hobby. I love that with your words and your actions and your physicality, you are just making someone uncontrollably giggle. The sound of laughter, watching people laugh. Ugh. Someone asked what my favorite shirt was. I mean, I wear them a bunch, but this Pedro Pascal shirt that I got off of Etsy, the shirt is this Gildan heavy cotton, and I get them one size too big. So is this one. They just happen to be like the same type of shirt. They feel like they're already lived in. They're so comfy. The heavy Gildan, yeah. And then this one is my Ghostface shirt. And I actually got this shirt before I even watched the movie. And it just says, nothing, just chillin', killin'. I love that shirt. I love like the movie stills, the little inside joke shirts, the funny ones. They pop on camera. People always ask me about them, so they're good props. Favorite midnight snack? Like a singular scoop of ice cream. As I'm filling up my water bottle before bed, I'll just take a scoop of ice cream. If I had one wish. If you were a sandwich, what sandwich would you be? Oh, something with a little aioli on there. Whatever it has a little bit of aioli. And multiple kinds of cheeses, because I'm cheesy and I like cheese. Thick ass roll of like Italian shredded lettuce, not like a leaf of lettuce, shredded lettuce. I'd be like a fat sub, real jam packed with some good stuff. What's a place that you want to travel but don't want to plan? Literally anywhere. If I could go anywhere and it was just planned for me, I had a travel guide. We did the touristy things. We found the local spots. The schedule was planned out. I knew where I needed to be and what I needed to pack. I would travel anywhere. It's the planning. It's the overthinking. It's the, do I need the butt wipes for Russia? Do I need to pack 3, stainless water bottles for Egypt because it's hot? Where are the water fountains? Where are the water fountains in foreign countries? It's very confusing. If you became a farmer, what would you grow? Green beans? I know nothing about farming, what's easy, what's not. Green beans? My mom and I used to always grow green beans in our little garden in the backyard. I always think they taste way better than from a store or from another farmer's market. I don't know what's with the soil, what kind of magic soil. Maybe that's where I get my humor from. The soil of the green beans I ate growing up. I'd be a green bean farmer. And it's fun to say, green bean farmer. This one says, what is your earliest memory of the internet? I have specific memories of me sitting in my mom's office at a big chunky computer trying to get on the internet to do who knows what I needed to look up at 8, 9, 10, 11 years old. Who knows? I remember specifically sitting on her computer and it doing the dial-up. And then just like freezing and it spinning. But I remember sitting there waiting for it to load. That and doing like AOL Instant Messenger. So sometimes I really gotta, calm my tits and be like, listen, I don't need 4G and I don't need to be glued to my phone. Because I remember just sitting at the computer being like, there has to be something faster. We have evolved. What do you feel is your biggest accomplishment in life so far? My biggest accomplishment. I mean, I feel like I've done a lot in life already. I mean, obviously maintaining a social media career, being granted one by, fate and timing in 2020, and then continuing with it. I feel like that is a huge accomplishment that I have proven maybe that I have the talent and the skill, to make people laugh and edit my videos and whatever. I think like that's cool that I've maintained the career. I guess like overall that's my biggest accomplishment that I'm constantly like chipping away at. Like, can I keep making the videos and making a career? It's so cheesy and stupid, but it's like, it just makes sense. Like, I think my biggest accomplishment is that I can make people laugh. I tried to prove it to myself time and time again. Like, is this going to be, how do I make this funny? And how do I make this funny? And how do I word it so it's funny? And I think it's an accomplishment to walk into a room and make people laugh. When I go home from like hanging out with people, I'm like, oh my God, we had such good laughter tonight. That feels like an accomplishment that happens time and time again. So I think overall, like in the bigger picture of life, I would love to leave a legacy on life that's like, she was just funny. She just made us laugh. Why am I going to cry? What the fuck? This is an emotional day. Do I believe in Sasquatch/Bigfoot? Sure, like I believe in ghosts, aliens. I'm sure it's out there. The more I learn about life is that there's so many things that I don't know. So yes, I'm sure there is. Someone said 5-minute plan, 5-day plan, 5-week plan, 5-month plan, 5-year plan. Goals. 5-minute plan. Finish this video. Sit down and finish my book. I'm like 40 pages, almost done with my book. 5-day plan. I have to go get an oil change sometime this week because I'm leaving out of town. I have to get an oil change. What is your favorite word? Like the word you enjoy using the most? The word I've been using the most lately, and it's not even a word. It's just like, I don't know where I heard it from, or maybe I said it one time like I was stuttering. It's instead of saying someone's like delusional, I go they must be delulu-lusional. Delulu-lusional. Oh, her? She must be living in delulu-lusional land. I don't know why I've been saying that lately. I just have been. 5-week plan? I'm supposed to blah, 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 blah. Get back to some people I've been meaning to get back to. That's a 5-week plan. Enjoy the weather while it's still summer out, because then we'll be like into almost all done with August by 5 weeks. 5-month plan? Okay, August, September, October, November, December. We're going into January. I don't know. Survive another winter in the Midwest? Do I deal with imposter syndrome? I think a couple Q&As ago I would say that I do. I think I deal more with I don't take compliments very well, and I like to stay in my lane. I like to, if I said, hey, I'm going to put a car on the highway, I'll just stay in my lane. And the lane could get bigger or smaller depending on if I've proven myself through my work, if I deserve a bigger lane, if I deserve to be in the fast, funny lane. I like to just stay in my lane. 5-year plan? In 5 years, I hope I have a better answer to a 5-year plan. I never looked at life in year plans. Life this far has felt like a surprise, a mystery, and a big old jigsaw puzzle, and I ain't got half the pieces. How am I supposed to make a plan about the future if I don't have the pieces of the future? We won't even be doing jigsaws in the future. We'll be doing them virtual. I'm sure they have virtual puzzles. Do you journal? I have such bad handwriting, and I get like just cramps, honestly, from writing because I have bad handwriting and I always can think a lot more than I can actually physically write down. So I've been trying to journal on Mondays. I try and sit down after the YouTube videos come out and I try and type up a little journal of like, I do like a paragraph about career and a paragraph about my personal life, like how's everything going. I haven't done it in a couple weeks. So I'm so bad at journaling. I need to do like audio journals where it's just me like, today on August 7th. How am I feeling? I need to do like sound recordings. That's probably my best bet. I think, I can't find the question. I think someone asked me like, what, do I like big forks or little forks? We have multiple sizes of forks and multiple sizes of spoons. I think the size of the utensil depends on the size of the item you're eating, not the amount. You could have a big old thing of mac and cheese, but if the noodles are small, you use a smaller fork. Or if you want the ice cream to last longer, you use a smaller spoon. I like small, long spoons for ice cream. I like big spoons for soup. I like long forks for salad. I like short forks for mac and cheese. My favorite utensil is probably a steak knife because they're sharp. Out of all your videos on YouTube so far, which one is your favorite to film? I'm just going to look back at like the last 6 months because I might have answered that question in a past video. I really liked the Never Have I Ever Sonic. One, because I found that really great sandwich that I think about once a week. It was like the steak and whatever. I think it was like a limited time. I can't remember now. But when I was filming that video, I had never been to Sonic. So everything that I was experiencing and saying was like so fresh. I hadn't said it 1,000 times before in other videos. And as I was doing it, I was like, this video is going to be funny. The jokes are hitting today. So that was a fun one. Baking with my nephew was fun. Just because it's fun to bake with a toddler who just like he's just gonna do what he wants to do. He obviously doesn't understand that we're like filming and stuff. It really broke me out of my routine to be like, okay, we're like gonna be on camera. Make sure we're looking at the camera when we talk and make sure we're like showing he's just gonna do what he wants to do. It really broke me out of my own shell to be like, it's fine. It's fine. It's human to do whatever. Someone just said, you know, girl, this video is so entertaining. I hope you hear this often. You have talent. That's so fucking nice. I think I'm like overheating in this car because that comment hit me like a ton of bricks. I feel like my eyes are melting. Someone said, what is your second favorite appetizer? It's not your main go-to, but still an incredible honorable mention. My favorite appetizer, which I can never find anywhere except the restaurant I worked at, deep fried green beans. Oh my, with the orange kind of zesty, that's so good. And like you go to a fair and they're like, we deep fried the Oreos and the Twinkies and everything's deep fried. I should just bring my own green beans one time, like throw these in there. My guy, throw these in there. My second favorite appetizer was my appetizer. Second favorite, I would say deep fried green beans and very good cheese curds are tied for one. Second favorite's gonna be any type of onion rings, but onion rings are hit or miss. Sometimes they're too fat and the batter's too thick, or my mouth's watering. I'm hungry. I'm gonna say onion rings. Thank you guys for listening to the Q&A. I'm filming this video. I think it's going to be very long. People are always asking for longer videos, but usually when the videos aren't about me, sometimes you get more answers than you want. You're like, it was a very simple yes or no. I don't know why there was a 10-minute rant about a yes or no question. Word vomit is a thing. And I don't mind throwing up. When people throw up, fun fact, no one asked this question. Do you hate throw up? No, I don't give a shit. I'll hold your hair back. I'll, sit you in a chair. I'll throw your hair back. I'll get you the puke bucket. I'm okay with throw up. It don't bother me at all. Because I have word vomit all the time. So if you want to actually vomit, go for it. Anyway, so that's a weird way to end it. But we're going to end it. Okay, I have this little tag right here. Christine Plant Manager. Christine Q&A Connoisseur. And I also work at the world's largest lint roller.